Mi resumen del miércoles solo podrá contener las visiones compartidas y los mensajes que todos queramos entregar a partir de nuestras deliberaciones. El contenido y la fuerza de esos mensajes que el mundo está esperando de la OMC solo dependen de nosotros.
We all know, and I think we all agree, that the single largest adjustment we need to make to our rule book is to amend it and conclude the Doha round successfully and soon. This is not just about economic benefits, it's also about our collective ability, our collective determination to preserve and strengthen this global public good, which is the multilateral trading system.
There is no more powerful trade instrument ready to be put at the service of global recovery than the Doha Development Round. My assessment is that we're progressing too slowly to meet the 2010 objective, and that's a cause for concern. So let me say, as we prepare to install a new Commission in Europe, that I say very clearly to this Assembly that my President and my Member States stand by our commitment to close an ambitious, balanced and comprehensive round in the months ahead. Europe is against drift, against any downgrading in the ambitious pro-development package that is within sight. Come early 2010, we will need to work together to make sure that we succeed.
I would also like to observe that many countries remain in line to join the WTO, including several Arab countries. We therefore have a duty to ensure that countries join the WTO in an expedited basis and on a fair and equitable terms, particularly for the least developing countries.
Aujourd'hui, l'Afrique compte le plus grand nombre de paiements et demeure le continent le plus marginalisé du système commercial multilatéral. Ainsi, elle paye le tribut des distorsions qui subsistent encore dans les échanges commerciaux. À cet égard, la réalisation du programme de Doha pourrait contribuer à accroître le niveau de vie des populations et aider des millions d'Africains à se libérer de la pauvreté.
The 7th Ministerial Conference of the WTO has brought together nearly 3,000 delegates representing all 153 members as well as 56 observers. This wide and active participation has demonstrated the importance WTO stakeholders attach to the system in these challenging times. LDC-specific issues were underlined as needing particular attention, including duty-free, quota-free market access, cotton, and the LDC waiver for services. The particular needs of small and vulnerable economies were also emphasized. There was broad agreement that the growing number of bilateral and regional trade agreements is an issue for the multilateral trading system, and that there is a need to ensure that the two approaches to trade opening continue to complement each other.
Our objective for this ministerial was to review with our members, our political martyrs, the whole range of WTO activities. We had not been doing this for a long time, and we need, in the Secretariat, but our members also need to listen to each other, what the priorities are, what the activities we have they want to push. And we've been able to do this friendly, openly, without any sort of spasm or pressure. Overall, we've gathered, I believe, a political energy with the membership at large, not only the G20, not only the APEC, not only the African Union group, but the membership at large, to try and organize the necessary convergence in the months to come so that this overall objective, which is to conclude the round in 2010, which remains, and the Chairman's summary on this, I think, reflects perfectly what we've heard during these 2.5 days, which remains our time horizon. Now, whether or not this is doable, my view is that it's perfectly doable. Whether or not this will be done remains in the hands of our members.
This is a clear demonstration that developing countries are willing to continue working in strengthening South-South trade and in a process of liberalization compatible with development. The decision envisages a process of exchange of preference of at least 20% on applied tariffs and covering a minimum of 70% of products. A timeline was set for intensive negotiation next year to conclude the agreement by the end of September 2010.
Nowadays, as recognized even by the World Bank, South-South trade is a good reply. It's not the only good reply, of course, but it's a good reply for us to go out of the crisis. And I can tell you, in the case of Brazil, the diversification of our trade has been one of the essential elements for us to suffer less, maybe than others, from the effects of the world crisis.
India is very clear that in these difficult times, the need is to engage more, to bring down the barriers in global trade, and not to allow non-trade barriers or technical barriers to come up. Because protectionism, in our view, will deepen the present economic crisis, will prolong the recession, and delay the recovery.
This was an important opportunity, not only for the United States, but all of the members of the World Trade Organization. As you know, the focus of our ministerial was not exclusively on the Doha development round, but it was an important opportunity for us to take stock of the overall trading system. This week, we have recognized the need to strengthen and build on our rules-based trading system and cooperative foundation, and to consider the potential of a balanced and ambitious conclusion to the Doha development round.